All right, guys, moving on to our next topic. The ACC has completely changed its schedule, and with good reason. They are adding 2 more teams, so it becomes a 14-team league now. But we'll start with the football side of things. Not going to have everybody playing every year. That was already part of the deal when the ACC expanded last time, but now there's going to be even longer between times that you may play a particular opponent. Do you guys think this football scheduling is good or bad for the ACC?
I think it's kind of part of the expansion. I don't know if you can really avoid having these gaps between playing certain opponents. As a UNC fan, UNC student, as long as you're still playing Duke, NC State, Wake Forest every year, then
but you're not.
Right.
You know, like they're not even playing Wake Forest every year now.
Right, which is the thing I think for North Carolina fans, which is difficult because you want to win that state of North Carolina title, and which of course you have to play ECU as well. So because that is already not part of the equation, I think that nothing changes too much other than maybe playing Virginia Tech less often, which could be a good thing if you're not playing Virginia Tech and Florida State as often. But Pittsburgh, they're a pretty good team. Syracuse, I don't know if they'll ever have a good football program. That could be, like a BC was this year, every single year, just an automatic W on the schedule. But again, I think that it's a good thing for the conference that they're expanding, and this kind of is just what comes with it.
I mean, to be honest with you, when I look at ACC football, I'm just like, come on. Honestly, we can be honest with each other here. SEC football is what everybody watches. But I mean, looking at our own conference in general, to me, it's just going to be the same 3 teams that we're going to be watching going to the best bowl games. It's going to be Clemson, it's going to be Florida State, it's going to be VTech for the most part. I mean, the scheduling, yeah, we don't get to play teams as often, but I mean, it's still just going to be those top 3 teams coming out of the ACC, and that's going to get their national attention. Hopefully, UNC can get their stuff together this year with the new coach and whatnot, with Fedora, and we can come out and have a very good season. But overall, looking at the scheduling, to me, it doesn't really faze me all that much because really our league, our football league especially, is just dominated by those 3 teams.
Well, maybe the ACC football is but let's get on to basketball.
Yes.
The scheduling there, very interesting. Every team will play one team every year, home and home. Everybody else plays 4 times in 3 years, including 1 home and home. What do you guys think about the pairings, and did any stick out to you, and is this good for the league?
Well, as a UNC fan, it strikes me that we're not going to be playing NC State twice every year, which I think kind of sucks. I like playing NC State as often as possible and beating NC State as often as possible, but obviously Carolina's team that you're going to get paired with is Duke. I mean, you can't go anywhere else for there. I mean, that's the big matchup in the ACC every single year. Maybe the most interesting pairing for me, I thought, was Pittsburgh and Maryland, because they're, proximity-wise, they're not as close, or if you wouldn't think about them being as close as a Maryland or Virginia Tech. But I think that it makes sense. They're very similar football programs in my mind, and it'll be interesting to see if one of them takes off or if this becomes an actual rivalry within the ACC.
I mean, basically, you're looking at the schedule. I mean, it was done by region, so everyone. I mean, with the traveling schedule, because we do have student athletes here, so they got to get their work done. But for me, most overall, I'm just more excited that we got 2 top teams from the Big East, Syracuse and Pittsburgh, coming in. So yeah, we won't be able to play NC State. We don't even consider NC State our rivals in the first place. We consider them second tier.
So
for NC State, I don't really care about. But bringing Cuse and bringing Pittsburgh to the ACC is now going to raise the talent level, especially the players that the ACC is going to be seeing coming in. Because I know basically Big East, Syracuse and Pittsburgh always bring in a lot of name players and always have those players going to the draft. So it's going to be a higher level of competition, and it won't just be ACC, just Duke, UNC anymore. It's going to be Duke, UNC, Cuse, and Pittsburgh.
I just hope we don't have to wait the full 27 months.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this new schedule. All right, moving on to our game for the evening. Very excited about this. I love this game. It's a really exciting experience. Each one of our panelists will take on the persona of someone in the world of sports. We're trying to keep it as disagreements for the most part, but these are some interesting pairings. We're going to start where Eric is Jim Irsay and Ryan Davis is going to be Peyton Manning. So, Peyton, how do you feel about Jim not giving you the vote of confidence here?
I don't really know what's going on with this guy. I mean, I have given him everything for the past 15 years of my life. I have played for you, won a championship for you, and been the guy that's won all these games. Look what happened without me. I leave and the team is terrible. I mean, the worst team in the league, and you won't give me any credit. Won't give me any confidence that if I am ready to play, that I'm the starting quarterback. Just total disloyalty, and I don't understand how you've treated me this way. Can you explain?
Listen, I have a responsibility to a franchise, not just players themselves, but to a franchise and the fans themselves. So I got to do what's best for the team. I'm not sure that my quarterback's going to come back from a very serious injury that has to deal not only with his neck, but his nerves and his throwing arm. I just got to do what's best for the future. I mean, I got to make sure that, I love winning Super Bowls, and I just love being a winner overall. And I must thank you for what you've done for us. But, I mean, the future is more important right now. So if you're not a definite solution, Andrew Luck might be.
Well, why can't you just tell me that behind closed doors and to the media, at least tell them that I'm your guy? I just don't understand how much credibility it seems like I've lost in the public eye over the past year. All I've done is not play. I haven't played poorly. I had an injury, I had surgery, and I'm working my way back to play for you.
Well, no matter what are you, 35 now? Doesn't matter. Sometime you got to go. We got to prepare for the future. So, especially with the #1 draft pick, when is a better time to do it than now?
Well, Peyton, I'm sure you just cannot wait to suit up against the Colts now, the way things have gone. Well, guys, time to move on to our next matchup. Ryan is Dwight Howard, and Eric is Jerry West. So for those of you that aren't familiar with this story, Jerry West recently said, as a former manager in the basketball front office for the Memphis Grizzlies, Los Angeles Lakers, he said that he dares teams to go ahead and dare players to not take the extra $30 million that they would get should they sign with their original teams. Dwight, do you feel like this is a direct shot at you? He didn't name you.
It's obviously a direct shot at me, but it's okay. I'm the guy that everyone wants to have on their team. I'm the guy that everyone's been talking about since Chris Paul got dealt. So why not? I mean, if he's the logo. He's allowed to weigh in if he wants to. So what if his opinions are irrelevant? I mean, the game has passed him by. He's an old man. So let's give him some pity. Let's let him have his moment of fame here, 15 seconds, and get on with it. If he wants to take a shot, it's fine.
Well, Jerry, it's an awfully big risk letting a guy potentially walk. What is your train of thought here?
Listen, we got rid of Shaq, and look what happened. We won 2 championships back-to-back regardless. So, if you want to leave because, you feel like that's not a place for you and you want to leave $30 million on the table, that's fine with me. There's always younger guys coming in the league who want to play and who are hungry and vicious, and money's just not the only reason why they play the game. Whatever, do what you got to do. We're going to find those guys, and we're going to win chips.
Wow, well said there,
Just
Jerry.
how I see it.
Tough to argue with.
Just how I see it.
A bold tactic, nevertheless. All right, guys, time to move on to our next pairing. Eric is Kobe Bryant, and Ryan is Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq, Kobe is about to catch you on the all-time scoring list. How do you feel about your old buddy approaching you?
Well, I mean, the guy takes 30 shots a game. So I don't know if I can argue with that. I'm still one of the most dominant players this league has ever seen, and Kobe Bryant will always just be Michael Jordan Jr. So that's what I have to say about that.
Wow, Kobe, you got to have some kind of response to that.
Do you see this face? This is a result of the Kobe system. You see this? This is success. I mean, you left the team and we won another 2 chips. Yeah, you won with Miami, but yeah, I got more than you. So, hey, I mean, I'm going to catch up to you, and I'm going to do better than you, and I'm going to always continue to do better than you. Simple.
Hey, I don't know if these numbers that you put up, and you have won some championships, but on all those championships, you were my sidekick.
But you know what's the funny part? That even when you retired, you still said that I was one of the best players in the league and one of the best Lakers. So, what do you have to say to that?
I'm surprised I didn't get a "I hate you, Kobe" out of Shaq over here. I mean, that seems to be his mantra sometimes. You got another rap about me?
That's what I'm wondering.
No raps. I don't hate you, Kobe. I'm just better than you, and I pity you for always living in my shadow in LA.
Wow. Okay. Burn. Okay, let's move on to our next pairing. Ryan is Albert Pujols, and Eric is Prince Fielder. Which one of you was more grossly overpaid? We'll start with Albert.
I think that I was more overpaid, to be honest. I'm getting old.
Yeah, I gotta agree.
I mean, the game is I don't have a whole lot of years left. I'm so glad the Angels gave me all this money. I don't know if I'm going to be playing for the next 10 years, but I'm going to be getting money for the next 10 years, and I'm going to produce. I'm still Albert Pujols. I'm still going to put up big numbers, and I'm still better than Prince Fielder.
Wow, Prince.
I mean, you can say that, but I haven't missed that many games in the my 7 seasons. I have a 162 game average out of 168 season. I've been knocking home runs in every single year, and I mean, I'm going to a very good Detroit team with Miguel Cabrera and Delman Young in front and behind me. So, I mean, yeah, you know, you could think that you're a better player, but you know, time will only tell. You're 31, you're getting older. That oblique strain seems to happen every single season. It takes you out for a while. As for me, I've lost weight. You know, changed my diet, vegetarian now, and I'm feeling healthy, I'm feeling good, and I'm ready to produce.
Have to admit, I did not expect a unanimous decision on this question. All right, guys, let's move on. This is kind of an interesting topic here. Let's see, Eric is going to be Curtis Sanford of the NHL. He's a goalie there, for those of you that aren't familiar with hockey. And Ryan is Drew Doughty. And what happened here is Drew Doughty scored the winning goal in a game that these two teams are playing with less than a second to go on the clock. And at some point during the third period, the clock had stopped and was stopped for a considerable amount of time. Curtis, should you guys be playing overtime?
We definitely should have, and I honestly think this goes back to just the integrity of the game. I mean, this falls back on the refs. It falls back on the people who are watching the clock. I mean, you go over the replay just to see what's going on, especially to see that the goal was scored. I don't see how you can miss that the time stopped itself, especially for as long as it did for the most part. I mean, yes, it was a very good goal. You know, you beat me. You know, not something I'm definitely used to, but I mean, this just has to be about the integrity of the game. Another thing I thought was funny, I actually was watching the New York Knicks game on Friday, and Paul Pierce actually hit a two-pointer that put them ahead of the game, but they reviewed the play and they realized he actually still had the ball in his hand with the shot clock, which I think is very good officiating by the refs themselves. You know, make sure that, especially in a close game where, you know, any shot that goes down can win the game for the team, that, you know, you're respecting the integrity of the game and make sure that it's played properly and that the right team wins the game.
Drew, did you guys deserve to win the game?
Of course we did. I think that the integrity of the game is that no matter what happens, you still have to play for the final 2 seconds, 5 seconds, however long you have to play extra, you keep playing. And we would have scored that goal anyway. If that extra time runs out, we would have done something, gotten the puck down the court, and we still would have put it in the back of the net. So, yes, it's difficult, and it makes this goal worth talking about. But I think we still would have won the game, and we definitely deserved to win the game, as we did.
I mean, yeah, my team would have won too if we had 10 extra seconds with only 4 seconds to go to score a goal. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it's an interesting debate, nevertheless.